The Hidden Metropolis Beneath the Sands, July 2025. June 2025. Under the blazing heat of the Giza Plateau, Professor Corrado Malanga, Filippo Biondi, and their dedicated research team once again captured the world's attention. Their newest ground-penetrating radar scans beneath the Pyramid of Khafre uncovered something far beyond expectations in a vast concealed network composed of immense chambers, sophisticated tunnel routes, and intricately crafted spiral stairways plunging deep below Egypt's desert surface. These extraordinary findings, sharper and more detailed than any previous results, immediately reignited debate and shook the very foundations of what historians believed about ancient Egypt. The images from the radar did not merely display faint outlines or uncertain readings. Instead, they clearly depicted a structured subterranean world resembling a full-scale underground city. The radar scans revealed enormous vertical shafts descending into the earth, vast halls, precisely oriented passageways, and staircases that spiraled further into the depths. What stunned the researchers most was the immense depth of these formations, reaching nearly 2,100 feet beneath the surface, which is roughly twice the height of the Eiffel Tower. The symmetry and deliberate design shown in the imagery left little doubt that these were man-made constructs. Some individual chambers measured almost 80 meters in width, equivalent to the size of an Olympic-sized swimming pool or a large urban building. The interconnected tunnels, helical staircases, and planned layout reinforced the idea that this was not a random geological formation but a purposefully engineered subterranean complex. When Malanga's team made their research public, the revelation captured international attention from journalists, archaeologists, and curious onlookers alike. Many scholars admitted that if verified, such evidence could radically reshape our understanding of early human civilization. One of the most notable aspects of the report was the unmistakable identification of spiral staircases leading ever deeper into the ground, proof of advanced architectural skill far surpassing what mainstream Egyptologists have long claimed the ancient Egyptians could achieve. However, these groundbreaking announcements soon sparked intense controversy. Despite the strength of the radar data, traditional Egyptologists responded with skepticism. Foremost among the critics was Dr. Zahi Hawass, accompanied by several well-known archaeologists who publicly dismissed Malanga's updated June 2025 discoveries as overstated, unsupported, or entirely implausible. Their counter-argument proposed that the radar signals likely represented natural rock formations or that the results had been misread or misinterpreted. Yet Malanga's data was meticulously verified, supported by multiple repeated scans using diverse radar instruments to guarantee precision. The research approach was transparent, cautious, and scientifically sound. Still, leading Egyptologists quickly sought to downplay or invalidate the revelations, which led many observers to ask a crucial question. Why were these experts so eager to dismiss such consistent evidence? In a detailed statement to the global press, Professor Malanga clarified the importance of his team's work. He highlighted their rigorous methods and firmly argued that the formations could not possibly be natural. As stated in his official report, the collected data unmistakably shows vast human-made chambers and corridors stretching deep beneath the pyramids. This is not a product of geology. It is architecture, evidence of forgotten civilizations, beyond the limits of recorded history. For hundreds of years, the story of humanity that we're taught has felt like a book missing crucial pages. Our collective understanding of history appears incomplete, especially when it comes to the true beginnings of human civilization. Each time astonishing findings, such as the underground complexes discovered beneath Giza, come to light, they challenge the established narrative and force us to rethink everything we thought we knew about our ancient past. The Gateway Enigmas, Japan's astonishing find beneath Giza. As the evidence continued to grow in early 2025, a new team of researchers joined the investigation, bringing cutting-edge equipment and a fresh perspective to the mysteries buried beneath the Giza sands. This team, composed of renowned Japanese scientists from Higashi, Nippon International University and Tohoku University, began their own independent exploration beneath the western burial grounds of the Giza Plateau. What they uncovered introduced yet another fascinating dimension to Egypt's underground secrets. Utilizing advanced ground-penetrating radar along with electrical resistivity imaging, tools specifically designed to produce crystal-clear images of what lies below the surface, the Japanese scientists detected something entirely unexpected just beneath the ground. At a depth of only 2 meters, their scans revealed a distinct L-shaped formation, precisely measured at 10 meters by 10 meters. What made this discovery particularly intriguing was that the structure had been intentionally concealed with sand, strongly implying that someone in ancient times deliberately buried it to keep it hidden from view. The unearthing of this deliberately covered structure immediately prompted a wave of questions and theories. Could it have been a hidden doorway, a sealed passage, or perhaps an ancient entrance built to guard something of great value or importance? Yet what truly astonished the team lay beneath this shallow formation. Deeper scans revealed another larger anomaly located between 5 and 10 meters below the surface. This deeper feature appeared to be roughly the same size, about 10 meters by 10 meters, but its readings on both radar and resistivity scans displayed unusual properties. The instruments indicated the presence of a hollow space or chamber beneath the sands, seemingly filled with air or loosely packed materials rather than solid earth or stone. The Japanese scientists meticulously documented every step of their process, later publishing their comprehensive findings in the respected academic journal Archaeological Research in Asia. Their paper offered a clear description of the discovery, noting that the precise geometry, the intentional burial, and the organized spatial arrangement of the structures all pointed toward intentional human craftsmanship, not natural geological formation. This remarkable revelation naturally ignited global curiosity both among researchers and the general public. Speculation spread rapidly. Could these hidden chambers be fragments of a larger ancient complex, perhaps an underground sanctuary, a secret temple, or a storage vault designed to protect something priceless? And if that were true, why would ancient builders have gone to such lengths to bury these structures beneath layers of sand? Adding further intrigue, these findings aligned closely with local Egyptian folklore and historical legends describing concealed passages and hidden rooms beneath the Giza Plateau. Tales long brushed off as myth and fantasy, including those about the legendary Hall of Records, suddenly gained credible scientific backing, breathing new life into stories that had echoed through Egypt for generations. The enigma of the builders, uncovering the true architects of the pyramids. The research team emphasized that uncovering such a vast underground network beneath Giza could drastically reshape our perception of human history and early civilizations. If these immense structures were truly the work of human hands, as the scientific data strongly implies, it would point to a civilization far more advanced than what mainstream archaeology currently acknowledges. Yet in spite of the credible and carefully gathered evidence presented by the Italian scientists, the traditional Egyptological community continues to preach caution and refuses to pursue further investigations into these claims. While prudence in archaeology is certainly necessary, the immediate wave of skepticism raises a deeper question. Why such strong resistance to exploring findings that seem so promising? These new revelations have already exposed stairways, chambers, and tunnels lying beneath Giza, discoveries that challenge conventional historical narratives. Regardless of whether mainstream Egyptology chooses to accept or reject them, the evidence itself demands thorough evaluation and continued exploration. With the remarkable June 2025 discoveries now verified beneath the Pyramid of Khafra, the world is left to confront an even more profound mystery, one that many Egyptologists quietly avoid. Did the ancient Egyptians truly build the pyramids as we've always believed? Or could these astonishing monuments be remnants of an even older, forgotten civilization? One of the most perplexing facts about the Great Pyramid and its surrounding monuments is the absence of direct proof identifying their builders. Strangely, nowhere within the pyramids themselves is there a clear record naming who constructed them or how the massive task was accomplished. Think about it. If you were to design and construct a colossal structure, equivalent to a modern skyscraper or an entire complex, Wouldn't you proudly record your name, plans and methods for future generations? Yet across Giza there is almost nothing of the sort. No detailed blueprints, no engineering instructions, not even a definitive mention of the pharaoh allegedly responsible for commissioning them. The only apparent link between the pyramids and any ruler, specifically Pharaoh Khufu, is a single fragment of red-painted graffiti found many centuries later, long after the structures were supposedly completed. It's as though someone had scribbled a name on a wall hundreds of years afterward, and archaeologists accepted it as historical fact. To put that in perspective, imagine discovering a random signature written decades after your house was built and instantly concluding that the signer must have constructed your entire home. This puzzling absence of direct evidence leads to an exciting but unsettling question. Could it be that the pyramids were not the creation of dynastic Egypt, but rather the legacy of a far older, more technologically capable civilization that predates recorded Egyptian history? Although mainstream scholars reject this notion, countless independent researchers have sought to explore it, often facing unexpected barriers. The challenge hasn't been the lack of evidence, but rather the restrictions imposed by Egyptian authorities. For years, the Egyptian government has routinely denied excavation permits to independent or international teams seeking to study theories that might disrupt the accepted version of history. Requests to examine areas beneath the pyramids are seldom approved, and proposals that deviate from official narratives are often swiftly turned down. This, in turn, provokes a troubling question. Why would authorities prevent deeper investigation that could shed light on Egypt's true ancient origins? Considering the strength and precision of the newly obtained data, one would expect the government to encourage additional research, not restrict it. Yet the opposite appears to be true. Could this suggest that something is already known but withheld? Or perhaps that officials fear what new discoveries might reveal? Some experts speculate that these hidden chambers could correspond to legendary accounts like the Hall of Records, a mythical subterranean library said to contain ancient knowledge and documents chronicling Egypt's forgotten past. Is it possible that the structures detected beneath Giza are connected to this fabled chamber, perhaps even holding the key to who truly built the pyramids and how? There are understandable reasons why both the Egyptian authorities and traditional Egyptologists might feel uneasy about these implications. Egypt's tourism industry depends heavily on the established historical narrative, the grand story that the pyramids were constructed by Egyptians around 4,500 years ago. Questioning that tale could deeply affect national pride and economic stability. Furthermore, confirming the existence of a pre-Egyptian advanced civilization would rewrite history books, redefine Egypt's heritage, and raise monumental questions about the true timeline of human progress. The March 2025 revelation. March 2025. Picture yourself standing upon the legendary Giza Plateau in Egypt, the scorching desert sun pressing down as the towering pyramids cast their shadows around you. Now imagine you're part of a scientific team, conducting deep radar scans beneath these ancient marvels, uncertain of what you'll uncover. Suddenly the radar monitor bursts with unexpected signals, revealing something extraordinary hidden under the Pyramid of Khafre. That is exactly what occurred in March 2025, when Professor Curado Malanga and his research group made headlines by announcing the results of an extensive ground-penetrating radar survey beneath Giza. The team's initial findings, quickly reported by international news outlets, focused on four mysterious, spiral-shaped formations detected deep below the Pyramid of Khafre. At first glance, these swirling patterns defied explanation. Their origin and function were completely unknown. Were they natural geological formations, or had they been intentionally designed by human hands? According to the radar images, these spirals descended vertically, twisting downward beneath the plateau. The precision and symmetry of their arrangement instantly caught the scientists' attention, raising vital questions. Were these strange shapes random geological coincidences, or evidence of ancient construction hidden underground? In addition to the spiral configurations, the scans also hinted at possible water channels or tunnel systems, indicating the presence of subsurface anomalies linked to fluid movement. These clues suggested the potential for advanced hydraulic engineering, perhaps remnants of an ancient method for managing groundwater. While the findings were still preliminary and speculative, they opened the door to fascinating possibilities. Regarding intentional underground architecture, beneath Giza, the idea that water systems might exist beneath the pyramids captivated many scholars, especially since the ancient Egyptians were renowned for their ingenious water management techniques. Historians began to discuss how, if proven true, these buried channels could redefine our understanding of how the pyramids were constructed or what purpose they might have served. When the news first broke, leading Egyptologists and archaeological authorities, most notably Dr. Zahi Hawass, responded with immediate skepticism. During interviews and discussions, Dr. Hawass strongly denied the claims, arguing that the radar technology used by the researchers was being misrepresented or misunderstood. He insisted that the instruments could not possibly detect structures kilometers below the surface and suggested the scientists were overstating their results. When challenged on whether he fully understood the technology, Hawass admitted that he did not, yet he continued to dismiss the findings. In his public statements, Dr. Hawass maintained that these spiral formations and potential water tunnels were most likely natural geological features. He urged caution and patience, advising that no conclusions should be drawn until more comprehensive studies were completed. Other mainstream archaeologists echoed his doubts, proposing that the spiral patterns and anomalous readings might simply be caused by natural rock formations or instrumental distortion. They reminded the public that similar radar irregularities in past excavations often turned out to be false positives once thoroughly investigated. However, history repeatedly shows that revolutionary archaeological discoveries are often met with skepticism before gaining acceptance. When Tutankhamun's tomb was first unearthed or when the Dead Sea Scrolls emerged, the academic community initially hesitated as well. Likewise, the radar anomalies beneath Giza were immediately challenged by traditional experts. Despite the doubt and criticism, Professor Malanga's team firmly stood by their results. Using high-resolution radar instruments, they had recorded clear and repeatable data, revealing spiral structures and underground cavities. The researchers emphasized that their work should prompt further scientific exploration, not premature rejection. The March 2025 findings ultimately generated more questions than answers. Were these spiral-shaped formations beneath Khafre's pyramid deliberately engineered by an unknown civilization, or were they simply rare geological anomalies? Did the data hint at ancient water tunnels, or was something entirely different concealed beneath the plateau? At the time, even the researchers could not have imagined that these early discoveries were merely the opening chapter of a much larger mystery. In the months that followed, even more breathtaking revelations would surface, clearer, deeper, and far harder to dismiss.